introduce Tony Wong to everybody. And he is going to talk about the Friends Serving Seniors program. Like senior adults, many senior adults in the greater Tustin area don't have friends or family that they can depend on for regular meal support. And the COVID crisis has made that even more difficult. Current programs like Meals on Wheels provide food Monday through Friday, but in partnership with Friends Café, the Friends Feeding Senior program provides 3 nutritious weekend dinners to Tustin seniors in need so they can remain home and stay healthy during the weekends. Tony, welcome.
Hey, thanks everybody. Who's going to work the slides for me? Was it you, Gary? You're mute.
Sorry about that. You can share your screen through Zoom.
I can.
Yeah, if you just hover over the main screen there and you click on share screen, you see the next to the chat icon.
Yes, share screen. Okay.
Yeah, and then choose which screen you want to share.
Okay.
You're starting. There you go.
All right. Hey. Okay. Well, thanks everybody. So I'm just going to keep moving along. What's the problem? The problem is that depending on which study you read, and there's a ton of them, it's 1 in 7 or 1 in 12 seniors are food insecure. So if you do the math, which I kind of laid out as a word problem here, it comes out to something like between 80 to 140 seniors in Tustin area are food insecure. In other words, they actually don't have any food, or they will skip meals, or in some cases are hungry. The number is probably higher. I mean, these studies were done, a year or so ago because of COVID. Seniors can't drive, they can't go out, places don't let them in, or don't let any of us in. And so family members themselves are struggling. So the gap exists between what services are out there today. As Richard mentioned, Meals on Wheels only deliver on weekdays, and there's nothing happening on the weekends. And one of the biggest complaints about Meals on Wheels is the food is institutionalized, right? It's it's kind of made, frozen, dried, freeze, whatever. And so even your able-bodied seniors, if they can prepare meals, many times they don't prepare nutritional meals. And besides hunger, we found that isolation is a big problem. And again, it's even worse with COVID. So seniors are often too embarrassed to even ask for help. And we're hearing this from all the different various organizations. It's not just us. Tustin Community Foundation actually did a survey sometime late before COVID hit, and we started seeing this as a problem. So what's the solution? We came up, Tustin Community Foundation was, because of that survey, we knew that seniors were having issues. And when COVID came along, it was pretty much verified. And we had inklings of doing a program, but we weren't sure how to do it. So literally about the time we were thinking about this in March, April, there was a 60-minute episode about this. And they were highlighting a guy in New York, a restaurateur, who was doing 50,000 meals. And he talked about how he did it, how he scaled it. And now he's being paid by FEMA. So he goes into certain areas that are FEMA struck or situation. And that's why the numbers are so big. But I went to the board and I said, hey, this problem that we've been trying to solve and how to do it, here's a guy in 60 minutes who literally laid out how to do it. So we came up with a goal. We kind of followed that little menu, if you would, no pun intended. And we partnered with Friends Café because they actually have capacity in their kitchen area. And so we set these goals that you see on the screen. And we actually started this program mid-April. And we started with about 40 seniors. And how we found the seniors, where we went to these normal places. what you would expect. We went to Tustin Senior Center, we went to the churches, we went to other charity and community service groups, and eventually we started going to the apartment managers, and some of the seniors told their other seniors, and so we rely on some of these organizations to vet them out, and that's how we found people, and we started making the meals at Friends Cafe, and we got funding from donations. We're completely donation driven. There's no grants, there's no government money, there's no FEMA. And all of our volunteers deliver the meals, so we have no cost. Our sole cost is what we pay Friends, and it comes out to like $4.87 a meal. It fluctuates a few pennies here and there, but we try to keep the costs down. And we have a couple of volunteers that every week make phone calls to the seniors. And turns out that in itself is a benefit, because remember the isolation thing? So here's Friends Feeding Seniors in action. If I start in the far upper left, that's on a typical Friday, right about 2 o'clock, they start making the meals. All the meals are made almost to order, if you will. They start putting it all together. Then you go down to the bottom, they stick them in bags, they tie them all up. About 3 o'clock, all the volunteers show up that are delivering it, and they go through their routine. They all have a routine. Those of you like Richard and Dave Olofs and Troy and John Moore and several others that did this about a month or so ago, they saw this happening. They know the routine. They put it in their cars, and then they go on their route, and they're knocking on the doors, and they're handing it or leaving it for the seniors. So what's going on? Well, let me give it to you by the numbers. We're currently serving 110 seniors, and we give every senior 3 meals. The typical senior is, on the average, about 71 years old. They range really from about 80 to 94. If you Pareto chart this, we have 4 seniors over 90. Actually, if you wait another 3 months, that'll almost double. We'll have close to 8 to 10 seniors in their 90s. We do this every Friday at 3 p.m. We have 10 delivery routes, so we break that 110. It's not quite that many locations. Sometimes we have 2 seniors per location. It's probably closer to in the 80s. We divide that by 10 teams. So on the average, it's skewed because we do some apartments that are large, and then some people only have a route of 5. So on the average, people get done in about 40 minutes or so. Again, you can talk to your fellow Rotarians that did this. They all have slightly different experiences, because some people did apartments, some people did homes. And we rotate the meals about every 5 weeks. And how can people help? Well, of course, it takes money. I believe we have funding definitely through the end of the year, and I think we're expecting additional funding through March. It's been we're pleased with that, and we can always use volunteers for delivery. Now, we've had a great response, so I would say we're not desperate right now, but we have some really great responses. You folks have been one of them. We also have another group that has decided that they're going to do every 3rd Friday. So it's fantastic. I mean, if we keep this going, if we could scale this at this point, if we wanted to, and that's the thing that I didn't talk about. If we doubled the number to 200, we could do all this without really any structural changes. And if you know any needy seniors, by all means, let us know. Okay. So let's see. I think I'm done. And did I get out of a share, Gary?
You're still sharing, but I can stop it if you'd like.
Yeah, can you pull me out? I am done. I'm here for questions.
How do I stop it?
Tony, can you tell us where the donations, the money comes from? This program's funded through March.
We have been 100% funded by private citizens. I think it's down to 95% of the dollars. So if you do the math, we're burning about $5,000 a month. And since mid-April, if you, again, do the math, 5,000 per month, you can see how much we've gotten donations. It came primarily from about five people or families.
With the senior center being closed and they do meals through, I forget the name of it, but has the city channeled any of that money over to this?
Well, good timing. We just received a grant from the city of $15,000. It hasn't hit our books yet. So I guess I wouldn't be lying if I said we've only been funded by private citizens, but we should be getting that. That should hit our books like before the end of this month, and we'll start using those funds. That's actually what kept us through over these next 3 months, November, December timeframe.
I'd get cash from the city. Don't take a check.
Tony, I have a question.
Yes.
You give them 3 meals on a Friday, right?
Yes.
What do they do for the rest of the 21 meals that they might eat in the week?
Again, most of them get Meals on Wheels. I think, we talked to a lot of the churches. The seniors we're dealing with are ones that can't get out because even the churches can't help them unless they deliver food. And again, some of these seniors aren't in a position to even make something out of the food. And that's really, we're the safety net for the worst of the worst situations.
Okay, well, what Meals on Wheels does it deliver on Fridays or?
Well, they deliver weekdays, and they may cover Friday, but our goal was to hit the weekend. But what we're seeing is that these seniors, well, so they can keep some of those Meal on Wheels for weekends, but we have seniors waiting for our folks to literally deliver. They're pulling it in after they get it, and they're eating it right there. And how do I know this? They've actually complained to our volunteer caller that we weren't delivering them soon enough. And I say all of our deliveries are done by 3:45, and we got complaints about that. So.
Well, I'm just wondering if these, food once a week is better than no food at all.
That's
And
right.
I'm wondering how I'm trying to think how I don't know how to phrase it. I mean, how desperate are these people? I mean, do they not eat till like Friday when you come, or do they eat only on Monday? Or
well, like I said, a lot of them are getting Meals on Wheels. They're getting some frozen or freeze-dried stuff. They have, some of them have people that bring stuff over. Every one of these are unique, and we try to do the best we can to vet. Our delivery people are one of our eyes and ears. I mean, I've had a lot of our delivery people tell me, "Hey, I just handed a meal to somebody, didn't look, they were a day over 40," and then our volunteer would then call, and we would vet it out. And it turns out that it was their kid or somebody, somebody that wasn't the recipient. And so we try to scrutinize, but look, we're not 100%. I mean, we rely on people that refer to us, the people that they're giving. Look, we've had 30 seniors drop out of the program. So
because
we've heard everything from they don't meet my dietary needs. I want less salt, more salt. It's not spicy enough. It's too spicy. I want filet mignon, and I don't like this salad stuff.
okay, so if somebody drops out, that's not a problem because you got somebody else to put in.
Right. I know we were concerned at first, but then I thought, I mean, what can you do? It turns out that if you take half the excuses, they were all the fringe cases that you deal with in any situation with public.
They don't like your food. They're not hungry.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
That's what I told my kids. If you don't like the food, you're not hungry enough.
But listen, on that note, though, it's not like we can't make something special. We actually did that in the beginning. We made 3 dietary special cases, and it got really tough to track. But we do listen to what people tell us, and if people say, "Hey, I want this," we actually throw it back and we ask others. For example, the big hit was soup. we started doing soup, and that was a big hit. That was a big hit. I think we're going to do grilled cheese sandwich. I mean, you know, because turns out they don't just want dinner. They actually think that lunch is good. So, you know, we're going to change the menu.
Okay, I have another question about money. You'd say these meals cost $4.85. You got 110 people, so you're looking at $500 just for meal costs, right?
That's all the costs we have. Yes.
For a week,
Um,
right?
Yes. Actually, it's more than
Roughly.
that, right? It's
Probably
100.
more than 500.
Well, it's just 300 meals a week. It's almost $1,500.
A week.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You do 3 meals and they're $5 a piece.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't doing the math right. Okay, so you've got to raise $6,000 a month, more than $6,000 a month, just to meet the requirements.
Yes.
Okay, and you're doing that all by private donations now.
Yes.
You don't have any service groups with you, like Lions or Rotary or anybody like that?
Well, Optimus Group. I mean, you folks are doing delivery, which helps a lot. I mean, we actually tried looking at this and trying to do it through, you know, some of these delivery services, and they're charging $3, about $3. You can tack $2 to $3 a meal. I mean, it's unscalable financially to do it the way that some of these, you know, you can't do it. I mean, you have to. It has to be an all volunteer army type of thing, and so.
Are you having trouble getting volunteers?
No. In fact, and you know, it's a good problem, right? Because, like I said, if we scale and double tomorrow, we actually have the delivery volunteers, and so now I have to play the game of letting some people have a week off, and I have people that want to do it every week. It's crazy.
But you don't. Your problem then is money.
Right. It's all about money. Hey, that's not a bad problem to have. I mean, it's only one problem.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's a very bad problem.
Only one problem, though.
I guess one problem is better than 12.
That's right.
So Tony, do you think that the organization is eligible to do, you know, get any of these grants, like the same as the FEMA route that they did in the, I guess it was New York? Is that where that 60-minute thing was for?
Yeah, we actually tried. We looked into the California one, the one that Newsom put out, and it was so difficult to meet what they needed that we decided we weren't going to put all of our effort into all the administrative things to run this thing. So maybe we're crazy. Maybe we'll keep looking for that. You know, we applied for part of the CARES money that's the city has additional amount that they got from the county. So we're, you know, possibly another 15,000 is coming. We'll hear about that within the next week or two.
So you found that the hoops that you had to jump through to qualify for this would just add so much cost to the whole effort that it wouldn't be
Right. Yeah.
Sad.
It is sad.
Tony, not
Are you
a
aware of
question.
any? I'm sorry, go ahead.
We all talk.
Sorry, Richard. Not a question so much as just a comment. Maybe down the road, it's possible to connect with each of these seniors getting food and find out what are they doing during the week, and if they're saying nothing, or maybe point them towards Meals on Wheels and help them with that.
So we have two people. The primary person is a guy named Robert. He speaks Spanish. About of the 110, we have about 20 to 25 that don't speak English very well. And he does take, like I said, he calls probably half of them every week. And the reason why he can't get through all of them because they all want to talk a lot. They love the socializing. We've never given Robert directive to actually, you know, jot down notes. Between him and Aaron, they do talk every week. We have a pretty good idea. I don't have it with me. Mostly, I'm worried about the operational side of this, but we have a pretty good idea what every one of them deal with, and I'm sure that we could document some of that and share some of that. I feel pretty good about that, Jonathan. If people want to know, we could get that in detail.
Tony, what other cities in Orange County are doing anything like this that you're aware of?
To my understanding, there is a military group that is doing something larger than this in some other part of LA, and they're moving into Orange County. And I think it's wonderful, but I don't know that much about it. We're just starting to learn about them. I know that other than that, I don't know of any other. In fact, Irvine, Kiwanis is jumping on board, and they're starting to fund us to start this in Irvine, and we already have 7 at some mobile homes and an apartment area of Irvine. And I mean, I was shocked. It's like, I said, really? You have people starving in Irvine? Sorry, bad joke, I know, but you know, apparently there is. And so they want to jump. So their people are volunteering and they're funding the meals that's going into Irvine.
Thank you.
Listen, if there's no more questions or anything, I just want to thank you for not just this opportunity, but I really want to thank the members here that are participating. It's wonderful. Thank you, Lori, for kind of being the organizer. And I know that I'll see about 8 of you next Friday. So thank you so much in advance.
Thanks,
Yeah, well,
Tony.
listen, that's a good thing for us to get involved with. I'm on the list to volunteer, and depending on what happens with this house that I'm negotiating with right now, I probably will be here and be able to do it. But I would like to get, if we can get a few more Rotarians there. Well, I don't know if you need any more. Maybe the 8's enough.
Well, let me make a proposal, an offer. Any Friday at 3 o'clock, come a few minutes earlier. If any of you want to come down to Friends Cafe just for 5-10 minutes, you can see the whole thing happen. This thing comes together and dissipates in 10 minutes. The volunteers are so trained. They come in 3 o'clock, they grab their stuff, they grab their route sheet, and they're gone. So it's hair on fire for 10 minutes, and then it disappears. So please, any of you, come down, take a look. And I also want to offer any of you a meal or 2 or whatever, try on your own. I always tell people, eat your own dog food. I buy 3 meals every week. I am a customer, a paying customer, because I want to see what this thing is about. And so when people tell me, well, the green beans weren't this or that, I had that green bean. Okay. I either agree or I don't agree. So I eat my own dog food. I want to make sure that this stuff works. So I want to make that offer to all of you. Come down. I'll give you a meal, take it home, try it.
My dog would be mad if I ate his food, and I wouldn't do that. But anyway, well, all right. Does anybody else have any questions? I mean, this is really an interesting project. I think it's a very Tustin based, and it helps out our own Tustin seniors to the tune of 100 of them every week. And this is a really neat project. And Richard, thanks for bringing this thing. And Lori, thank you for getting us involved in this. And we really appreciate you, Tony, coming here and telling us about it and for actually doing the program. That's telling us is no big deal, but actually doing the program, that's a big deal. I never realized that there were so many people in need in Tustin until I delivered meals for Roger's program. And that just really opened my eyes. I mean, I saw parts of Tustin, and I've lived here since 1969. I saw parts of Tustin that I didn't know existed. I drive every day.
Well, the apartment runs are the most revealing. These people are living there on Section 8, funding, and you open the door and you look in, and there's not much going on, and it's and the apartments are where people, they sort of hide away, and you don't really know it unless you kind of do that route. And there's enough people living in those areas, and you see the other side of how people live. I mean, I think we're all I look at this Zoom screen, and we none of us here deal with anything close to what they're dealing with. So it really connect you back to society, the other part of society.
In a country as prosperous as the United States, there's absolutely no reason for anybody to go hungry. It's just.
I agree.
And there's absolutely no reason why a veteran should be homeless.
Yes.
A veteran signed up to our military, which I did not. I was 1Y actually, but anyway, served in our military. There's no reason that person should ever be homeless. It just irritates me when I hear about stories like that, and the VA not, putting people off forever. I mean, these guys gave, and they deserve everything they should get. So anyway, all right, so much for my soapbox for the day. All right,
so, Tony, I wanted to congratulate you on how well you've done on this, because it's the fact that you've done it at the grassroots level and not had this administration stuff that kind of comes along with the whole nonprofit thing, and qualifying for grants and all this thing that just adds so much administration. I mean, it may not be a big burden for an organization that's well funded, but you're delivering 100% of your donations to the people that need it. And that is a fantastic thing. It's great to see that you're doing that. And really, I think that you should get together, or at least compare notes with Roger. Roger does an event for Thanksgiving. Is that right, Roger? You want to speak a little bit about that? But it's very much the same kind of thing, except we do it's for families mostly, not for seniors. But it's you want to talk about that a little bit, Roger?
No, I just have a thing that I do near the end of December for Christmas, and I deal with Soledad and the Tustin Family Youth Center, Barbara, and they kind of help me out with a list, and then I have I get a box of food and a ham for them, and then I pass out about 500 boxes of food, just to a couple of different organizations take a larger quantity, and then I have about 50 to 60 people that volunteer, and then I have here in Tustin-SantaAna, there's about close to 200, and then in Placentia, I have a location about 100 where we deliver to families that are on the list. And yeah, so we do it on a Saturday, and it takes a couple hours, and we're all done. And anything left over, I give to the Tustin Family Youth Center, and they use the boxes of food and hams for people over in that area that may need something.
Yeah, that's a great program, Roger. It's I think you spoke about it last week too. I pulled you in on it. Okay, listen. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. Well done. Good program. And let's do everything at Rotary that we can to help you out. Does anybody else have anything that they need to bring to the group's attention now? Because I'm about to call the meeting.
Yeah, Fred, if I could bring up our upcoming Zoom meetings, if
please.
I can do that. Okay, so next week, Thursday, the 29th of October, we have a presentation by the Tustin Area Historical Society, and I thank Mark Elliott for reminding me to talk to them. Wait, he's not on the call, is he?
No.
I don't need to thank him then.
Right.
Thursday, November 5th, we have the Musical Instrument Museum from Phoenix. We have a couple of weeks open at this point on the 12th and the 19th. November 26th is Thanksgiving, so there won't be a meeting then. December 3rd, Mark will be doing Students of the Quarter, and December 17th, the American Red Cross is back, but they'll be talking about disaster preparedness for families and individuals. That's what's up for the rest of the year.
And
Great.
just to remind people, my daughter and my sister want to join us on the 5th for the Musical Instruments Museum again. They really enjoyed the Neon Museum.
Well, we'd be glad to have them, and certainly anybody that wants to join our new Rotary is welcome. So if anybody has a friend or somebody, a relative that wants to watch our meetings. I welcome them. We'd love to have everybody that wants to see us. If we have interesting programs, which we have had, thanks to Richard Rubin, a banker, I might add. Good bank.
They're not all bad.
Yeah, exactly. Just the ones I deal with. Oh. Okay.
Your choice.
They're not bad. They're really trying to put it together. It's just that they keep wanting more damn documentation. Okay. Anybody else have any announcements?
Real quick,
Hearing none. Oh, there you go, Johnny.
I just wanted to thank those of you that have reached out with condolence cards. It's heartfelt appreciation. Several Rotarians got a wonderful note from Leo and an email from Ken Allen and several of you and about the passing of my sister a couple of weeks ago. And I really appreciate it. Just want to thank you.
All right. Thanks, Johnny. Anybody else have any announcements?
I do. It's not an announcement. Richard, did you get my email about a potential presentation on the grant from Bolivia?
Sorry, I don't recall if I got that. Could you resend it, please?
Sure, I will. I've been lost in Canada last week.